Good evening, everyone. We are back with another chapter. This time we will be doing studies or revision based on the chapter Life Processes for Class 10 CBSE. Life Processes remains a very important chapter for our understanding and also for the Class 10 CBSE board giving students. So, we will learn what are life processes, how are they important, how do they impact the life of a human being, and many other things which are important in this chapter. So let us start the chapter Life Processes. So what does this chapter say? It says that organisms show many properties such as movement. The movement may not be growth related, but visible movement is not a defining characteristic of life because a plant may not grow visibly and some animals can breathe without visible movement. So viruses do not show any molecular movement in them until they infect some cell. So what are life processes? How do we understand what life processes? See, this is a virus. This will not show any molecular movement in them until they infect some cell or until they live in someone's body or infect somebody. Same way, organisms show many properties such as movement. They may be related to growth or not. Some visible movements are there, but they are not a visible defining characteristic of life because a plant may not grow visibly and animals can breathe even without visible movement. So what does really qualify as a life process? That we will see. See, this is a structure of any organism. Life starts in a cell. Then combination of cells forms a tissue. Then an organ is formed. Then organ system is formed. And then then an organism is formed. Same thing happens in the case of plants. Cells, tissues, organs, organ systems and organisms. So living organisms are well organized structures having tissues, cells, cell organelles, etc. Due to the effects of the environment, living structures may be broken down and dead, so they must be repaired. Since these structures are made up of molecules, they must always move molecules around. So this is just some basic introduction to the chapter of life processes. What actually are life processes? How do we define life processes? So life processes are all the maintenance processes which are used to prevent damage and breakdown of body of an organism. All the life processes which may be required for maintenance process of the human body, which helps us to prevent any damage and breakdown of body of organism. It is starting with nutrition. First is nutrition, next is respiration, then excretion, growth, digestion also can be added in this. For all this process, we need energy. Energy is needed from outside. This energy source is called food. Food is the source of all energy in the human body. Since life depends on carbon-based molecules, most of the food sources are carbon-based. Now, carbon is one of the most important elements in nature. It makes a lot of important compounds as well. This we will study in the chapter 4, carbon and its compound. For class 10 students it is there. We'll definitely study. I'll make a video on that as well. So carbon is an important thing. It is present in nature. All our food sources are carbon based. Now let's see ahead. Foods. What are foods? Foods are broken down or built up in the body. They are finally converted to uniform source of energy and molecules for growth and development. Air, oxygen. We take in oxygen. We give out carbon dioxide. Glucose is formed by the food and energy is released to us and water comes out of the human body in the form of sweat, etc. So air, oxygen, glucose as that we get from food is the intake. Carbon dioxide is outside like the output, you can say, along with energy and water that is in the form of sweat. I hope it is clear till now. So foods are broken down or built up in the body. They are finally converted to a uniform source of energy and molecules for growth and development. Oxidizing reducing reactions are some of the most common chemical means to break down molecules. For this, many organisms will use oxygen. In cells, various chemical reactions create useless and harmful byproducts. The removal of such products from body is called excretion. Now let us move ahead. This is the human body, wonderful human body. It has multiple things. This is a plant. Okay, let us see. Now, there are multiple type of organisms. Now, one such type is a unicellular organism. As the name implies, unicellular organisms are those organisms that are made up of just one cell. The entire surface is in contact with the environment. So no specific organs are needed for food intake, gas exchange or removal of wastes. In multicellular organisms, we humans are multicellular organisms. All cells are not in contact with the environment. So all cells are not in contact with the environment. So simple diffusion will not meet the requirement of all the cells. Now this question is asked in exam that why diffusion is insufficient for multicellular organisms. So the answer is very straightforward. In multicellular organisms, all cells are not in contact with the environment. So simple diffusion will not be able to meet the requirement of all the cells. That's why they have specialized body parts to perform various functions. This is an important question. It can be asked. A transportation system is used or needed to carry food and oxygen to all body parts and waste products from tissues to excretory systems. Now let us start with understanding nutrition. What are the different types of nutrition that take place in plants and animals? First, let us see the plants. They take the help of sunlight and light energy. They take carbon dioxide as input. They give out oxygen to us, which we take as input. They give out glucose. They have roots. They get water from the bottom to their roots and they get minerals. Okay, so this is an example of nutrition in plants. So it is the process of transfer of energy source or food from outside the body to the inside. It is needed for body growth, development and synthesis of protein and other substances. Okay, even though we are inactive, energy is needed to maintain a state of order in body. So general requirement for energy and materials is common in all organisms, but it is fulfilled. It has to be fulfilled in different ways. Okay. So these are the different means of nutrition. The one you understood with the plant. This is an amoeba. It's a unicellular organism. This is the food. It is just engulfing the food. These are different animals. They are sucking the blood of the human hand. This is an yeast. It has infected the bread. Okay. And it has taken, we say the bread has got fungus. So sorry, it's not yeast, it's fungi that has made bread as its food. Plants have different mechanism. It's a cow eating grass. It's herbivore. All the things that eat a grass or vegetable are called herbivores. So these are mushrooms. Okay, they have implanted themselves on the tree. This is a cheetah running after a deer. He is a carnivorous, flesh-eating, meat-eating animal. Okay. So it is the process of energy source from outside the body to the inside. Needed. Why food is needed? Why nutrition is needed? It is needed for body growth, development, and synthesis of protein and other substances. Even though we are inactive, energy is needed to maintain state of order in body. General requirement for energy and material is common in all organisms, but it is fulfilled in different ways. Some organisms will use simple food materials like obtained from inorganic sources such as CO2 and water. They are called autotrophs like green plants and some bacteria. Some organisms directly or indirectly depend on autotrophs for nutrition. They are called heterotrophs. See, this is an animal. This is a heterotroph. He is dependent on an autotroph. Okay. The one that eats grass. So he will eat him. Example is animals and fungi. They utilize complex substances which are broken down into simpler ones with the help of biocatalysts called enzymes. Now let us see autotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? It is a process where an organism prepares its own food from simple inorganic materials. So let us see what is photosynthesis. It is the process by which CO2 and water, carbon dioxide and water is converted into carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. It occurs in autotrophs like green plants. Like we have the formula 6CO2 carbon dioxide plus 12H2O. CO2 is input, water is input in photosynthesis. We have sunlight as input as a catalyst and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment which is present in the leaves of the plants. What is the output? Output is glucose, C6H12O6. Glucose is the food of the plant, C6H12O6. So plus 6O2 oxygen which is taken up by humans and plus 6H2O water is also formed. This entire formula of the photosynthesis of the plant is important and it needs to be memorized by the students. Carbohydrates provides energy to the plant. Carbohydrates which are not used immediately are stored as starch. It serves as the internal energy reserve in our body. Energy derived from food is stored as glycogen. So this is about the plant, but when it comes to the human body, from energy derived from the food, the energy that we derive from food is stored as glycogen. Let's go ahead. Autotrophic. So this is the leaf, midrib, lamina or leaf plate, vein, xylem, phloem, and vascular bundle. This is cross section of a leaf. Cross section means we cut the leaf. So this is the interior. We have guard cell, we have lower epidermis, we have air spaces, we have chloroplast, upper epidermis, waxy cuticle, phloem, xylem, vascular bundle, lamina or leaf blade, vein, and midrib. Autotrophic nutrition. Let us see what is an autotrophic nutrition. The green leafy plants have a chloroplast inside of it. Okay. So cross section of a leaf under the microscope shows that some cells contain green dots. They are cell organelles called chloroplast. It contains the chlorophyll. So chloroplasts have chlorophyll. So cross section of the leaf under microscope is what needs to be done in order to observe the chlorophyll. Shows that some cells contain green dots. They are cell organelles called chloroplast. It contains chlorophyll. Okay, now let's go ahead. What are the events that take place in photosynthesis? First of all, what happens is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Chlorophyll will absorb the light energy. Okay, chlorophyll will absorb the light energy. Light energy will be coming from sunlight. Sunlight will be giving the light energy, and chlorophyll will absorb that light energy. Conversion of light energy will be done to chemical energy and splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Next is the reduction of CO2 to carbohydrates, that's a food. These steps need not occur in sequence immediately. It is not necessary it will happen immediately. As example is the desert plant. They take up the CO2 at night and prepare an intermediate. It is acted upon by the energy absorbed by chlorophyll during the day. Okay, this question is asked like why desert plants take up CO2 at night, prepare intermediate. So this is the answer. It is acted upon energy absorbed by chlorophyll during the day. So just take up CO2 at night and prepare an intermediate. Okay, let's go ahead. Now we have some experiment to show that chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. In this, they have taken two types of leaves, which are variegated leaf. This is before the starch test. This is after the starch test. We have taken a potted plant with variegated leaves, money plant or crotons, kept it in dark room for 3 days to use up all the starch. If you keep it in dark room for 3 days, it will use all its starch, so it will de-starch. Keep the plant in sunlight for about 6 hours. Pluck a leaf and mark the green areas in it and trace them on paper. Dip the leaf in boiling water for a few minutes. Immerse it in alcohol in beaker. Place the beaker in water bath and heat to boil the alcohol. The leaf becomes colorless. Chlorophyll is dissolved in alcohol and the alcohol turns green. Dip the leaf in dilute iodine solution for a few minutes. The green areas of leaf turn dark blue. It indicates the presence of starch. Colorless part of leaf shows no formation of starch. Okay. So this is one experiment. It can be asked in exam board that describe one experiment to show that chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. Maybe or may not be. Another important concept is the concept of stomata and the guard cells and the stomatal pores. Gaseous exchange. What happens in stomata? Stomata takes care of all the gaseous exchange occurs in leaves through stomata for photosynthesis. Also occurs across the surface of stem, root and leaves. During this, much water is also lost through stomata. So the plant loses stomata. So the plant closes stomata when it does not need CO2. Opening and closing of stomatal pore is regulated by guard cell. Function of guard cell is asked in exam. Function of guard cell is it opens and closes the stomatal pore. When water flows into guard cells, this swell and pore opens. If guard cells shrink, the pore closes. So till here we are concluding the part 1 of this chapter. We will go ahead in the part 2.